Maggie, pick up! Where did you take Nathan? Why did you take him from the kindergarten without my permission? Stop ignoring me and reply. Ugh, please. These beeps are driving me nuts. The kids are exhausted after playing all day. I just got them to finally take a nap. You're going to wake them up with all your beeping messages. Who gave you the right to take Nathan? You lied to the teacher that I gave you permission to pick him up. You do realize that this is a crime. It's pure and simple kidnapping. Kidnapping? Ugh, please. You make me sound like some kind of monster. It's no surprise that I would pick him up. I mean, I am Nathan's real mom after all. What the hell are you talking about? I gave birth to Nathan. How could you be his mom? You, his real mom? Oh, for goodness sake. But it's gonna turn out this way sooner or later. Your husband and me, well, we're getting married. So obviously, Nathan becomes my child. Are you mentally challenged? Wait, so you're telling me that you're the one who's having an affair with my husband? And so if you remarry, you get custody of Nathan? Is that what you think? Bingo! That's exactly what's going to happen. I've been dreaming about this for a long time. That someday, Nathan would be my child. I only have a daughter, so I figured... I've been saying that to your husband, William, for some time now. But he didn't want the affair to come to light, so he told me not to talk about that too openly. Now that you know, I really don't have to keep it hush-hush. You know what I mean? Oh my, I just can't wait to hear Nathan call me Mommy one of these days. You are mentally unstable. I only found out about you guys a couple of days ago. And you act as though we're already divorced. Oh, for the love of God, do you have no shame? Shame? Why would I feel shame? What's so wrong about going out with someone you love and marrying that person? It's perfectly natural. And then to want that person's child? That's perfectly natural too. Yeah, perfectly natural. If that person was not my husband and the child was not mine, yeah, go for it. You can have that two-timing jerk. But Nathan is not going anywhere. Anyways, no way you guys will get custody. You're the ones who cheated on me. Of course we can get custody. You divorce him, and what happens? How are you going to support yourself, much less Nathan? On the other hand, I marry William, and our combined income will actually increase. So, picture this. We have a dirt-poor single mom and a financially stable rich family. Which would you consider better for a child? You really do have a wild imagination. Of course, sole custody will be given to the biological mother. No matter how you kick up a fuss, Nathan will never be your child. I don't know about that. I think you better accept the fact that he's mine. You better get mentally and emotionally prepared for the inevitable. I feel so sorry for you. To lose your husband and child. Oh, how dreadful. You talk as though you've already won. You're not even divorced yet. There are still things to work out with your husband and about custody of your daughter, Sarah. Shouldn't you be more concerned about losing your own daughter rather than focusing on taking someone else's kid? No problem there. My husband's never home. He's working overseas and never is home. He's really not concerned about us anyway. I'll just submit the paperwork. He probably won't even complain. And about Sarah, She's my daughter. Of course. She'll do whatever I ask. Unlike you, Sandy, I've got everything worked out. Everything worked out, huh? Pretty confident of you. I see. You keep it up, and you're going to fall flat on your face. Do I hear the desperate cries of a beaten dog? Besides, unlike you, I'm not the type to muff things up. You have nobody to fall back on. But I have William to support me. I can't wait to welcome Nathan into my family. And Nathan looks just like his father. He's gonna be so handsome when he grows up. Maybe I shouldn't bring him up as my child, but groom him to be my boyfriend. I'm still young and beautiful. It's possible, don't you think? Or maybe Sarah can marry him one day. Huh? Are you totally nuts? That's disgusting. Don't you lay a hand on my child, you thief! Sorry, but Nathan is my child. Keep your big mouth shut. You're going on and on about it, but you do realize we're not even divorced yet. And for you to take my child without permission is a crime. I'm heading out now to pick him up. So back off and hand him over. If not, I go to the police. Oh, really? How much longer are you going to be so high and mighty? Not long, I assure you. No use bickering with you, so I'll back off for now. But keep in mind that both William and Nathan will be mine one day. Soon. Yeah, keep it up. I assure you, I will destroy you. Answer me! How could you? You're despicable! You are a monstrous witch! Oh, hello, Maggie. What's the matter? What are you all worked up about? You spread rumors about William and my relationship. All the kindergarten moms are avoiding me like the plague. All my neighbors are eyeing me like I'm some kind of criminal. You spread those rumors, right? Speak up! Oh my, what a shame. So, everyone's eyeing you as if you're a criminal, huh? Feeling a bit of shame about having an affair with my husband? And I thought you had no feelings of remorse. My bad. Stop screwing around! Why did you have to spread such personal stuff at the kindergarten, for God's sake? What is this? Your idea of harassment? No, not harassment. All I did was put in a complaint to the kindergarten. A complaint? Why did you do that? What, are you daft? Obvious, isn't it? I got Nathan back, but my child was almost kidnapped. No, he was actually kidnapped. Our kids go to the same kindergarten, I know. But for the facility to just hand over a child without the parents' permission? That's a no-no. One mistake, and this could have become a criminal matter. How can you fault me as a mother for complaining about that? I also had them explain why that happened. And in the course of our conversation, the fact about you having an affair with my husband came up. Why did you have to tell them about our affair? And it was not only the teachers that knew, all the mothers knew as well. You spread those awful rumors, didn't you? Please. Spread rumors? You make me sound like some kind of monster. All I did was inform my fellow mothers that there was a dangerous kidnapper in our midst. Then they asked me what it was all about, and so all I did was provide all the details, including about the sordid affair. How could you? I pulled a lot of strings to get my kid into that kindergarten. Why did you have to go and tell everyone? Oh, I'm so embarrassed. I can't even show my face at the kindergarten anymore. Huh? Hold on a second. I thought you said you didn't do anything shameful. So you do have feelings of remorse. Shut the hell up. What are you up to? Blowing this all out of proportion. This is the sort of thing usually solved quietly behind closed doors. As I recall, you're the one who kidnapped my child and started this whole thing. I really didn't want this whole thing about my husband's affair getting out. As a matter of fact, I was going to just let it pass quietly, not make a big fuss out of it. But you had to go and push the wrong buttons. Do you think that this is the end of it? You know what? I was going to let you visit Nathan once a year, but I'm going to move far away and never let you see your kid again for the rest of your life. You're the one who won't see your kid again. I hear that your husband is going to take custody of your daughter Sarah. Haha. What the hell are you talking about? Why do you even know that? I contacted your husband, but I didn't know his line, so I called his office. They gave his number up in Vancouver, Canada. I gotta say, your husband was furious about your affair. What? You told my husband about the affair too? I was going to keep it quiet until the very end. He would have found out sooner or later. Besides, you say keep it quiet. How do you even do that? I was going to split up without telling him, and just have him deposit his monthly salary. Now, my income, I was relying on that. Oh my god, you really are something. You're not only a kidnapper, but a con artist as well. Put a sock in it. I can do what I please. He's my husband. Not for long. Your husband is not your possession, and neither is Sarah. How can you or my husband take custody of the kids? Impossible. You won't be able to afford it, and you need both parents to bring up a child. I don't know about that. I think I can manage. I plan to move back with my folks after the divorce goes through. They live nearby, so Nathan can still keep attending kindergarten. And my folks said they would help out with Nathan's upbringing. Your husband also said he was going to take Sarah and go back to his parents' place. He said it wouldn't be a problem. So, you plan on sponging off your parents? Ugh, what a total loser. Having both parents is way better than having a single mom. Living off her parents, ugh. And financially? We make way more than you. You're not serious. You guys are going to make way less. Did you not consider that you have to pay compensation and also child support? Compensation? What are you talking about? Huh? Wait, are you serious? I knew you were a bit slow, but come on. Don't tell me you don't know about how all this compensation stuff works. Did you even go to school? As a member of modern society, you should know that. Oh, hold it. So you think you can have an affair, get a divorce, and not pay the consequences? Huh? What are you saying? Okay, let me explain this in layman's terms. You had an affair with my husband and destroyed our marriage. As a consequence of your actions, you must pay. I will be demanding at least $10,000, so keep that in mind. What? Are you loco? I'm not paying for that. And child support. That's the money you have to pay for your child's education and upbringing. Even though we get divorced, Nathan is still William's father. As a father, he's obligated to pay for Nathan's education. Obviously, you're also going to have to pay for Sarah's child support too, right? If you put all that into consideration, well, you guys will probably end up making less than me. Huh? What? No way. That much? That's not possible. It's illegal. It's way better than kidnapping or swindling your husband. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned all this to my husband's workplace or yours, but if you fail to meet the payments, I will have the courts deduct it from your salaries, just so you know. Now, if you don't want people at work to know all about this, I urge you to be very careful. Sandy, hold on a second. I didn't know all that. I don't have that kind of money. and I don't want to lose my daughter, so please, I'll terminate this affair with William, and I apologize for taking Nathan without your permission, so please forgive me. I mean, we are friends, right? Huh? Really? We were friends? That's the first I heard. Please, I'll apologize, so please, make something up with my husband. Put things right, please. And about the kindergarten and the other moms, explain it to them. Make them understand. I'll do anything, just forgive me, please. I'm sorry, but you know what? I'm really reluctant to help out a criminal. Not my style. Really sorry. I hope you understand. My lawyer will contact you later. We're all done here. Oh, and I will block you online. See ya. After that, I returned to my parents' place with Nathan. And from there, I submitted my papers for divorce. Well, they really pushed back, and we finally ended up in court. After which, they finally agreed to a settlement, child custody payments, and I got sole custody of Nathan. As for Maggie's husband, he was able to get custody of Sarah, and even settled on a fair compensation. And most importantly, Maggie and William squabbled about the compensation and child custody payments, and eventually broke up. Both of them were apparently shunned by their respective parents. Even their friends didn't want anything to do with them. Last I heard, they're both working their butts off to pay the compensation and child custody payments. Nathan was a bit traumatized by all this. But with the loving support of my folks, he's back on track, enjoying his time at the kindergarten with all the other kids. When he was first kidnapped, I was out of my mind with worry, and really could not perceive how this would all play out. But it all worked out in the end. In fact, I feel a tremendous sense of relief.
Kyota, is now a good time?
Oh, hey, Nanae. What's up?
There's something really important I want to talk to you about.
Sounds serious. Did something happen?
Well, yes it did. I think you're going to be super shocked by what I'm about to tell you. So please prepare yourself.
Okay, so what's going on?
I'm out doing my freelance work at a cafe in a shopping center. And your mom was sat in a seat right behind me until just now.
Huh? My mom?
We had our backs to each other. It seems like she didn't realize I was behind her at all.
That's unusual. It's not like my mom to be out drinking tea in a cafe.
So, anyway, she was with some guy I didn't recognize.
Huh?
I overheard them saying all sorts of things. It seemed like the man she was with was her lover.
What? Wait, what? What are you talking about?
You must be shocked. I couldn't believe it myself. I started recording their conversation as soon as I realized what was going on. I want you to listen to it later.
I see. Okay, I will.
I am sorry to have messaged you with this kind of thing. But there's no way I could keep it to myself.
Don't worry about it. It must have been really unpleasant for you to suddenly find yourself listening to something so awful. I am sorry for my mom's behavior.
Don't be silly. You have nothing to apologize for, Kyota.
Let's carry on talking about this at the house, okay? Probably gonna have to let my dad know what's going on, too.
Right. Okay.
Nanae, are you there?
Hello.
There's a little thing I want to ask you to do for me.
Oh? What is it?
Well, you see, the week after next, from Thursday until Sunday, would you mind stopping by the house every now and then to check my husband?
Your husband?
That's right. There's a school reunion being held in my hometown on this Saturday. So I plan on staying with my parents for a little while since they're close by. But, as you know, my parents live a very long way away.
Of course. It takes about 5 hours from here, including changeovers from both the bullet and the regular trains, right?
That's right. That's why it makes more sense to stay over at my parents' place. I'd like to have plenty of time to relax while I'm there.
I see. So you plan on leaving the Thursday after next, is that right?
Don't get me wrong, my husband is quite capable of looking after the house by himself. But I'm probably just worrying too much. But I would be grateful if you could show your face at the house every now and then, just to check on how he's doing. Oh, and he'll be working as usual on Thursdays and Fridays, so you only need to check him on the evenings on those days.
Got it. I do freelance work from home, so I'm fairly flexible when it comes to my schedule. Sure, leave it to me. I want your mind to be at ease.
Thank you, Nanae. You're such a sweetie.
That's okay. Kyota, your mom just messaged me. It's just like I thought. She's planning on going away. From Thursday till Sunday, the week after next, apparently. She asked me to check in on your dad every now and then while she's gone.
Even while she's away doing that, she still worries about my dad. Either that, or it's some kind of trick to try to camouflage what she's doing.
I don't know anything about that. But I do know that the school reunion she's supposedly going to doesn't exist. I know this must be difficult for you, Kyota. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm pleased you told me.
What about your dad? You met him at a local restaurant and told him everything, right?
Yeah. We're together now, actually. I played him the recording, too.
Your poor dad. How did he take it?
Well, you see, turns out he actually suspected my mom was up to something for a while now.
He did?
He said he had an inkling something fishy was going on, but was depressed and anxious because he had no evidence. He seemed weirdly relieved when I told him, as if he was finally able to process his feelings. I mean, I guess I kinda understand what he means.
I see. Well, if your dad's mind made up, that just leaves one thing.
Yeah, you're right. Let's settle this.
Yeah. Hey, how are the preparations for your school reunion going? Are you having a good time?
Oh, hello, Nanae. Yes, I'm having a blast. I am back in the family home after all. The house might be in my brother's name now, but that's not to say my dad isn't still alive and kicking. There's something so soothing about being back at the house I grew up in.
Really? I'm so pleased to hear that.
Did you want something?
Oh, please forgive me. I messaged you because there's a little something I wanted you to confirm with me.
What is it?
Am I right in thinking the school reunion's being held tomorrow? Saturday, right?
That's right. All of my old friends from high school will be getting together to catch up over some drinks. By the way, and this is just between us ladies, okay? But apparently my first boyfriend, the first boy I ever fell in love with, is coming too! To tell you the truth, I feel a bit giddy. But don't tell Kyota or my husband about that, will you?
Oh, you're such a minx. Look at you all loved up like a teenage girl.
I thought with you being a girl too, you'd understand what it feels like to get giddy over a boy.
That's nice. To be honest, I think I'd rather not understand the feelings of someone who cheats on their husband.
What?
Let's just be straight with each other, shall we? This school reunion of yours never existed, did it?
Of course it does! Just like I told you, it's being held in my hometown!
It's just there are a few things that seem more than a little strange to me. For example, when Kyoya asked your husband, he said he had no recollection of you mentioning anything like that.
Huh?
I did think there was a chance you might just forgot to tell him, though. So, you know how the 3 houses around your parents' place belong to your old classmates from high school? When we asked them about the reunion, none of them had heard anything about it. We even tracked out some of your other classmates and asked them too, but surprise, surprise, no word of any kind of reunion. How do you explain all of this? Well, Where are you right now? I already told you, I'm at my parents' house. That's strange, because I'm at your parents' house right now. What? No one here knows anything about you coming home. Admit it, you're not here, are you? Oh, that's right. No, I'm not there yet. Oh dear, I forgot to tell them. I forgot in my head if it wasn't screwed on. Really? I, decided on a whim to stop by at a nearby tourist spot on the way. I never planned on coming here originally, so I admit this has all been rather careless of me. It appears I surprised you all. But I'm sorry to have troubled you. But would you please stop with these strange accusations that I'm having an affair? People might get the wrong idea. I'd feel guilty if I showed up on the doorstep announced and I was staying out of the blue, even if they are my family. That's why I decided to book a hotel, so I'll be staying there for tonight. I'm so sorry for the hassle, but please, could you pass the message on to my family? There are some things that just don't add up, though. What do you mean? Why don't you seem concerned about the fact that I'm suddenly at your parents' house? Aren't you curious as to why? Well, on top of that, you still haven't given me an adequate explanation as to why there's no evidence of this school reunion actually existing. Well, that's, Kyota wants to speak to you now. Huh? Kyota? Oh no, you're with Kyota right now? Yes, we're together. What is this? Am I being interrogated? You'll be getting a message from him now.
Mom.
Kyota? Nanane was saying all sorts of strange things about me just now. It's not true. Just ignore her.
His name's Takano, right? The guy you're cheating on Dad with?
What?
I won't go into detail, but sure enough, we know everything. It was pretty easy to find out the rest once we knew his name. Takano's the guy you mentioned in your message to Nanae. Your first boyfriend from back in high school, right? You two reignited your old relationship when you were reunited at a school reunion 5 years ago. When you caught wind of him having just divorced his wife, you invited him for a drink and ended up spending the night together in a hotel. After that, when he started getting serious about you, he decided to move to our town where you lived with Dad. Captivated by his intensity, you got serious about him too. And you resolved to use Dad's impending retirement as your opportunity to file for a divorce. You planned on coming up with some nonsensical reasons to justify the divorce so that you couldn't be held legally responsible. And we're getting ready to take half of Dad's stuff, including his pension and alimony. Then marry Takano so the two of you could live happily ever after. Does that sound more or less accurate? Feel free to correct me if I got anything wrong. But let me make one thing clear. That is not mere guesswork or speculation.
How on earth?
Listen up, Mom. Remember that time you met Takano for a coffee at that cafe inside the shopping center a little while back? While you were sat and merrily chatting away, a certain acquaintance of yours was sat with their back to you in the seat directly behind you.
What?
That person heard everything, from the two of you reminiscing with delight over being reunited, all the way up until the situation between the two of you today. Including your little scheme to try and steal Dad's retirement money, among other things. They recorded everything from start to finish and handed it over to me as proof. We did some further research based on the recording, and that's how we know what we know now.
What? Someone recorded us? Who was it?
That's not important. By the way, as for Dad's retirement next week, that pension money you've got in your crosshairs will be getting paid into a different bank account to the one his salary goes to every month. Which means you won't be able to get your greedy hands on it. I guess you could call it Dad trusting his gut. It's not necessarily that he had any evidence you were doing what you were doing. Somehow or other, he felt like having his retirement fund paid into a separate bank account would be the right thing to do. And it looks like he was right.
No way!
There's one more important thing I've got to tell you. The proceedings for your divorce with Dad are already well underway.
What?
You already had some divorce papers with your signature on it stashed away in the drawer in your dresser, didn't you?
How did you know about...
We found them while we were getting your belongings together.
What? My belongings?
Here's a message from Dad. What the hell are you playing at? Think you'd do something like this at your age? I don't need a wife who cheats on me. Looks like you already had the divorce papers ready. So I did you a favor and took them down to the registration office. However, I fully intend on extracting as much compensation as I can out of you and Takano. Goodbye.
Please, wait.
We got all your belongings together and had them dropped off at your parents' house.
What?
We went out of our way to rent a moving van and have them taken there for you.
Why would you do such a thing?
Isn't it obvious? You're divorced now, which means you have nowhere else to go but your parents' place, right? The house belongs to Dad, after all.
You have no right to go doing that without my permission.
Rights? Permission? You lost any claim to those things when you decided to cheat on Dad. Besides, weren't you the one planning to file for divorce? All Dad did was put his signature next to yours on the papers you already had. What's the problem? Shouldn't you be pleased?
No, you've got this all wrong. It's not like that.
Anyway, Dad asked me to tell you to only contact him through his lawyer from now on.
His lawyer?
As for me and Nanae, we don't really feel like speaking to you ever again.
Wait, Kyota! It turned out my mother-in-law was in the middle of a lover's holiday at a famous tourist spot near her parents' place. 2 hours after the last message, she turned up at her old house where Kyota's dad was, and frantically rang the doorbell. Apparently my stepdad completely ignored her, at which point she went to mine and Kyota's house. However, since me and him stayed the night at a hotel on the way back from his parents' house, we didn't end up seeing her. And then my mother-in-law was forced to pay compensation to my dad. But her lover, who had used his entire pension to cover it, was furious with her, and their relationship fell apart. "This is all your fault," he said. She didn't like the idea of having to go back to live with her parents either. Now she's living in a cheap rundown apartment a little way away from her hometown, working like a dog to pay the compensation she owes to my stepdad. Up until this whole affair, she'd been a stay-at-home wife this whole time. As such, she probably would have never imagined she'd end up spending what should have been her retirement years working to exhaustion.